Lightning bolt. Okay, since I got hit with the bolt times. I go get a land and I'll be able to make mana. So I'm able to make mana, I could cast both easily. I have 7 mana left. 6. Yeah, getting Cataract here seems like the best call. So let's go. Cascading. Now let's do this. Dragon God, that works. Still some bottom. I mean, I don't even remember what it was. But yeah, definitely casting Dragon God in this case. Even though I don't really want to, I have to. Okay, this game's freaking out. Okay, game accepted. Okay, so I can plus on Dragon God here and deal 3 damage to his Titan, and plus on Dragon God here again and deal 3 more damage to his Titan. So Titan's out of the game for right now. That one's probably reading the text. Okay. So that's an easy way to get rid of Titan right there. Alright. Alright, let's see if the opponent can figure out a way to get out of this now. Is it Scape Shift or another Titan? Oh, so they chose to cycle here. So looking for something. So just Elder. Let's see, they should have enough mountains though where they can deal 3 damage to whatever they want. In this case, Dragon God. I guess they're more scared of Dragon God than Ugin. Okay, what's coming here? Another land. Okay. Dragon God is out. So I get an Oath here. Alright, so since I have an Oath, best thing to do is to go ahead and play it. If I draw another Planeswalker, I should have enough to play the Planeswalker and Doubling Season, so that should win the game. But let's see what happens. Alright, let's see. Emrakul. I have 4, 7, 9, 12. I have 12 mana just this turn alone, so definitely getting Emrakul is the right call here. At the same time, it's uptick on deal 3 damage. Let's go ahead and put. I guess there's no point to put both Doubling Seasons out because one of them wins the game by itself. Okay, I have a tower already. Guess I'll do another tower. At least that way, if my opponent's gonna, destroy one of my lands, they're kind of thrown off by it a little bit. And hopefully pick a power plant. But at this point, we're just waiting to see what Planeswalker comes up. Explore, so they can play an additional land and they get to draw an extra card. Nice, so that's a win. Alright, let's see. In that game, I didn't feel like I needed anything else specific. I really did not feel like the deck was asking for anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and not sideboard. Like the one card that's which notification? The one card that stands out to me the most is Topor Orph. Where is it at? Topor Orph and Ensnaring Bridge. Those are two cards that stand out to me the most. Platinum Angel does it's well-ish. It's yet the flagship on the sideboard that we have to put the Golos in the main board. So I have two Golos as main board now. Okay, alright, let's see. I'm not sideboarding against this opponent at all. I could do like metal, start blowing up lands. Blowing up lands is probably the ultimate win condition since you know they're trying to activate Valakut. So if I start blowing up mountains, that should do a decent amount against them. I don't think Scape Shift is something that my opponent's playing because I haven't seen a lot of Scape Shift recently. It's making me feel like though if I had a Veil of Summer I would be in pretty good position, but I do not, so I'm not worried about it. Ballista can potentially do something. Let's see, Bridge, Gateway, Spyglass, Relic, yeah, Digger's Cage. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with it as is. Okay, let's see. I have Tron, turn 3, then I have Karn. So I can go get an Ensnaring Bridge easy. Alright, so if Ensnaring Bridge easy is gonna be the play. Field of the Dead, so my opponent's going this route with what's the name? Primeval Titan. Which is kinda good for me in a way. Because I can stop a whole bunch of creatures from attacking. Which means that's no problem. That over there. Let's get priority. Opponent's at 19 minutes, I'm at 23 seconds. So I'm doing pretty good on time. So is my opponent trying to destroy Expedition map here? Or explore? Damping Sphere. So since the opponent casted a Damping Sphere, that changes the game for me a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead and use the power plant. I guess put the power plant in place. Well, I should say not use the power plant. Okay. An Elder. Almost doing nothing else this turn. Okay, let me go ahead and go fetch to get Tron potentially online in a few turns. Alright. Let's skip to my turn. I'm thinking here doubling season. Uptick doubling season to 2. And go ahead and pass to my opponent. Let's see, Karn and Snaring Bridge, what does that get me at? Karn and Snaring Bridge will have me at 6 cards in hand, potentially 7. And for sure, if I activate Blasphemy, it has to be at the end of my opponent's turn, so they can't search for tomorrow. So here they're just trying to ensure that they get all their land drops. Since they played a forest here, I'll say it's fair to assume that they have Titan in hand at this point. Alright, so if the play here is Kind Grave Creator, my opponent is free to reign next turn. Turn after that, I have to destroy it. Nah, that's not gonna work. I have to wait until they're insta, no matter what. And there's really no other options for me in hand. Okay, opponent. Go ahead and do your stuff. Guess I gotta set up an OK key on my keyboard, that way I don't have to pass priority. Let's see, yield through next end step. I'm not risking that. Maybe I'll use it in my next game and see how it works. Okay, end step, let's go ahead and sacrifice this blast zone real quick. So that should get rid of Damping Sphere. Put Tron back online for me. Nice, so Tron back online. Beast within, targeting a tower. I'm not really okay with that, but I guess I'll take it. Just the fact of having Tron back online is still a win for me. Also, I drew an expedition map, so next turn for sure. Tron back online. I guess the only issue is gonna be I don't have a win condition yet still. Like I have plenty of conditions in my hand. But none that finish the game out. And they have a decent amount of mana over there. The Dryad. Okay, so my opponent's gonna start dealing damage here to me for lands they play. So hands down, first thing that I'm gonna want to do is get rid of that Dryad. And since my opponent didn't, cast anything, let's see. I got a mine, power plant, and a tower. Alright, let's go to the next. My turn. Let's play next tower. Then, hey, I guess since I have a beast, I might as well use it, right? Let's go beast. Cheer my beast on from the sidelines here. I'll deal damage to my opponent. Let's see, exile his Dryad. And also, my opponent did not play a land last turn, so because they did not play a land, I'm gonna say it's fair to say they have no lands in hand. Which means they have probably a Primeval Titan. And no fetches. Makes me wonder. Primeval Titan and no fetches. Nice, that's a win. Alright, starting the stream off with a win, I like it. Modern prelims begin in 4 hours. I might take it. Depends on how I keep doing with this deck. Let's go against this opponent. I think this is who I played against, actually. Actually, I think this is the opponent I just played against, so If it is the opponent I just played against, they completely understand what I'm playing. So playing around me is going to be easier for them. On the flip side, playing around them should also be easier for me as well. Because since I know it's Primeval Bound, not Primeval Bounty, Primeval Titan combo. I wonder if that's even considered a combo deck by itself. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was the person I just played. Either way, though, I feel like it was right for me to ask, because at least that way my opponent isn't feeling like I'm targeting him or something. We got a mine. Last turn. Well, Tron Online on turn 3. Big payoffs here. Also, I can get a tower out there. Okay, let's see. Liquid coating. Okay, I guess they completely understood liquid coating was shutting them out in that case. Alright, let's go to the next game. Yes, it's live. I'm just here playing a more competitive version of my deck. Like, I knew that there were some cards I could replace. Let's see. Obviously, Ugins are still in. Samut and Dragon God. Pretty much all the one-turn win conditions are still in. With doubling season, that is. I think I put 2 copies of boluses in. So I'll put 2 more boluses in and another Golos. But I'm trying to see what it's like with Golos. If he makes his presence known. If he does, I might end up putting another one in. Again. I guess I'll keep. I have no choice but to keep. Guess I really don't need this. Do away with the scrying. So my opponent's playing Primeval Titan, and of course Valakut and Field of the Dead, along with Dryad of Elysian Grove, and I played a game against them a second ago and I won the game. And we happened to start another match against each other. Just by accident, I wasn't targeting them or anything, it's just a series of unfortunate events, because I feel like for me this is not the greatest matchup out there. By the way, how's your day going so far? Nice. Hey, I completely understand it. How's that work for when I work like 14-hour days, 14 plus hour days. And the entire time I was just watching a guy named From the Crypt on Twitch. He was streaming his Mana Traders League live. So hey, it made them 14 hours go by pretty quick. Force of Vigor to destroy map. Hmm. I I don't like it. Wish he wouldn't. But I guess since we're continuously getting lands here, it's not too bad. I'm just gonna wait to fetch though because mainly I'm trying to get Karn casted. And since I have another land I could use next turn in hand already, I'm not too worried about getting to 4. Next turn rolls around and I still don't have another piece of Tron or something, I am definitely gonna fetch. I'm also kind of lucky that my opponent played the second Valakut because that means that they're kind of screwed out of green mana-ish. Okay, no piece of Tron. I have to fetch. Alright, let's see. I don't want to completely ignore Tron here. I guess the land that would have the most amount of utility here is Blast Zone because of Dryad being played. And if my opponent's going hardcore on Valakuts, then they must be trying to use the Dryad to try to win the game, so guess I'll try to stop that route and see what happens. Now I can definitely say my opponent has Primeval Titan in hand. Alright, so I'm gonna go get Ensnaring Bridge here. And Ensnaring Bridge should make it to where it stops my opponent from attacking, but that alone is not going to win me the game, so I'm gonna have to figure something else out. Alright, this is the turn, right? The turn we see Primeval Titan hit the battlefield. Yep. So playing 2 more lands, definitely expecting mountains of some sort. So I'm getting dealt 6 damage, 3 to Karn, 3 to me probably. Oh, never mind, they didn't have enough yet to turn Valakut on. That's very nice. Let's go ahead and get this out. Stops my opponent from attacking. And let's see. I'm wondering what else I need to go do. I guess once my opponent can't attack, the next goal is to use liquid metal coating, maybe? Yeah, I think the only option is liquid metal coating. But since we can't play it now, I guess I have to wait a turn. Then start blowing up Valakuts. I think once Valakuts are out of play, since the Titan can't attack, my opponent's gonna have to find some other win condition. There's the Dryad. And does Karn get destroyed here? Scape Shift. Okay, so they are playing Scape Shift. Alright, that's game. At least I'm pretty sure that's game. If my opponent didn't say they had misclicked or anything there, I would have kept playing, but knowing how the deck is supposed to work, I definitely did not win that match, so I am okay with conceding it. But yes, so I added in... Wow, I guess he was already ready to go as well. So turn 3 Karn payoff would be absolutely amazing here. Nope. Still not gonna keep this hand. How much am I going down to at this point? Went down to... Okay, I definitely want to keep this hand. So I think just using Karn Liberated here should knock my opponent off enough to where they can't get things going. They don't have land destruction of some sort. It's funny though, mulligan down to 4 and get natural Tron. And have a Karn Liberated to use on turn 3. Search for tomorrow. As long as my opponent doesn't play turn 2 Damping Sphere, then I should be okay. If they do, then I have to figure something else out. Nice, they play a Sacral Tribe Elder. I can dig it. So, turn 3 Tron, and I drew into a second Karn Liberated. So now I'm sitting pretty good here. Alright, let's go ahead and exile this one to get rid of your forest. Nice, very nice. So 2-0 against Titan. Let's go this person, see what. High anxiety. Alright, let's see here. Definitely not keeping this hand. You can definitely tell the presence of more Karn Liberateds, and I guess I just added more Karn Liberateds as a colorless Planeswalker anyways. So Tron on turn 3. Definitely keeping this hand. My opponent actually responded. That's pretty cool. I guess I will get rid of the forest here. Just because I have a damp chromatic sphere here, so I can create green mana if necessary. Alright, so opponent plays Inspiring Village and Goblin Guide. So yes, it's gonna be a race against the black here. I'm automatically thinking though, turn 3 Karn Great Creator into Elixir of Immortality maybe. Yeah, I get an Oath of Nissa next. Dig it. My opponent also now knows that I play 1-cost spells, so they play Eidolon of Great Rebel. And after this game, I gotta go set up an OK key on my keyboard. That way I don't have to keep clicking all the time. Lava Spike. So my opponent here is just going straight for trying to deal as much damage as possible. Also, now I'm thinking that playing Elixir of Immortality might not be the right call. Alright. I get a 7 scrying. On the bottom, I already know for sure I'm gonna fetch, so I'm just gonna wait till the end step. Okay, I guess my opponent's doing nothing else. Let's go fetch a power plant. Okay. So I drew into a Nicol Bolas Planeswalker. Definitely not gonna do anything for me right now. Alright, let's get Karn Great Creator out here. I'm thinking though, is Chalice of the Void on 1 worth it? Because Chalice on 1 means I go to 6. So then my opponent has to just attack me and use 1 burn spell. If I use Elixir, I end up going up 2 life. Or does it deal 2 damage? Okay, so I go up 3 life if I use Elixir. So I'll go back up to 12. I think going back up to 12 is the right call here. We're going down to 7. They have 2 mana open, a white and a red. So I'm assuming my opponent has Lightning Helix or something here. So yeah, I'm just going Elixir here. Alright, Elixir. Go ahead and do what you're good at. Give me some life. Wonder if my opponent has Skullcrack. Hey, if they got Skullcrack, they got it. If they don't, they don't. Skullcrack, yep. That's game. Do they respond or do they attack? Okay, he responded, I'll concede. But yeah, I don't think I played bad there. I definitely took my best option. Since they had a Skullcrack anyways. Regardless of whatever, 3 cost or less spell that I casted, I was gonna end up losing the game anyways. So Chalice would not have worked. Maybe the best play was to just not do anything at all. I didn't have enough mana to cast anything else. So yeah, I think I definitely did the best play I could there. I had a Nicol Bolas in hand. If I had played Chromatic Sphere or Star and then Oath, I would have taken 4 damage, which would have made me die to Skullcrack, and there's 1 creature attacking anyways. And that's if I had tried to go playing the Bolus route. So yeah, I definitely think I did the best that I could there. Alright, let's see. Got Natural Tron, got Golos, so I guess that's what I'm playing with this game. I guess I'll just go ahead and fetch since I really don't care if they destroy one of my lands here. You got a mine, power plant, let's get a tower. Alright, let's yield until my next main phase since I have nothing to do here. So turn 3 Golos is gonna have to be it. Turn 4 cast 3 random spells and see what happens. So I definitely drew into my second Golos here, and I can't say I really have a problem with it. So I guess that's a win, right? Because here if my opponent destroys the first one, then I could go ahead and just cast the second one. Also the fact that it's allowing me to cast spells that I don't have, I think that's a definite win. So the presence of more Golos is definitely a win. Destructive Revelry to kill the Golos. I can dig it. So my opponent's on 3 mana now and they just casted a Monastery Swift Spear. Which means they probably don't... Let's see, now I have options. Well, I guess the first thing to do is to go ahead and see what I draw. Sylvan Scrying is what I get. Let's go ahead and use that. Start off by just getting more copies of Tron lands. Of course, I'm going to start with a tower here. Alright, I guess Golos back into play might be the play here. That's 7, 8 mana that I have. Nine mana that I have. But it's going to be 7 if I have to use a Cascading Cataracts. So I'm just going to Golos again. Alright, so this time I'm going to get a power plant. That goes into play. Now let's just go ahead and fetch the last piece of one of my Tron lands here. Since I already have a forest in hand, even if my opponent plays a Blood Moon, I'm not in a bad position. And now we also have Emrakul mana next turn, so if I draw into Emrakul, I should be able to cast him no problem. Let's see. Red white, World's Charm. I'm not surprised. Alright, so my opponent looks like they're playing around Golos here, which is great. Definitely are playing around Golos. Alright, let's go ahead and play a mine. I'm wondering, do I risk top 3 cards? Even if I use Jace Architect of Thought right now, I still end up basically doing the same thing. Just, you know, seeing top 3 cards versus being able to cast them. And at least with the Golos, I can, you know, cast them for free. So, praying for, you know, an Emrakul off the top. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, Samut and Karn liberated. Now let's go ahead and start exiling cards from my opponent's hand here because, like we all know, burn is kind of like control. If they have no cards in hand, you're moderately safe-ish. Alright, so that's one card out of their hand. Let's go ahead and cast this Chromatic Star to see if I draw into a doubling season. If I draw into a doubling season, this will give me the green mana that I need. Now open another expedition map. And let's go ahead and cast Samut the Tested here. And deal 2 damage to Monastery Swiftspear. I kind of doubt my opponent will cast a spell just to keep the Swiftspear alive, but hey, if they do, they do. Skullcrack. Okay, so they were trying to wait for me to gain life or something. Okay, so Swiftspear is still in play, which is not bad. I'm honestly not at all worried about it. Alright, let's go ahead and fetch some more mana. So let's go ahead and get a tower. I have to say though, adding more Golosses in definitely is helping out my mana count. And, you know, if you can thin your mana out of your deck, you're normally in a pretty good position. Because at least now I draw into more threats, which is amazing. Lightning Helix is what I took earlier. Now I get a doubling season, so let's add ahead and add some green and blue mana. And that should be game as soon as I cast face here. Yep, my opponent realized it was game. Okay, so that's 1-1 versus burn since I made the changes. I guess I should have put Chalice of the Void in the main deck, since they're playing the Eidolon. Okay, let's see, definitely keeping this hand. It's not Great of the Forest, just to keep the 2 Karn Great Creators. Alright, so turn 1 this time around, they definitely have a creature in play. But I'm okay with that. Do they play the Eidolon here? Nope, they just attack. Okay, Lightning Helix. Boros Charm. Okay. I can live with that. So turn 3. Oh, nope. Still turn 3 Tron, but I have to for sure figure something else out. I think Chalice of the Void on 1 is gonna be the best play that I can do. Let's see. Tower, power plant, let's get a mine. And I definitely should have waited to fetch until the end of my opponent's turn. So, definitely got a little distracted there on my part. But if they're playing Cleansing Wildfire, then it is what it is. Lightning Bolt. Down to 8 life. I'm expecting my opponent here to be playing Skullcrack again. So because I think Skullcrack is a very real threat at this point. Alright, so what's the best play here? I could play Nahiri and exile his Surf Spear, which would give him reason to target Nahiri. Chalice on 1 stops all his lightning bolts and prevents him from casting more creatures. I think Chalice on 1 is just a better play. I guess I have options. If he had more 1-cost spells, he would have probably casted them. As far as creatures go, so it's probably an instant in hand. I'm thinking he definitely has Skullcrack, otherwise he would have cast it on his turn to get the browse triggers to go off. Just gonna hold on to the Nahiri because at least it can win the game if I get a doubling season. I'm gonna cast Karn here just to give my opponent another target. Hopefully they take it. It would be very nice if they did. At least it soaks up 3 damage for me. Do you target Karn or do you target me? Nice. Karn absolutely did his job there. Alright, so opponent had no spells to play there. Now, since I'm at 8 life, I think that my opponent holding Skullcrack in hand is definitely still a real threat. So, let's go ahead and get doubling season out here. But I guess since I drew a Sylvan Scrying, yeah, let's get doubling season out there. And the Chromatic Sphere as well. So chilling at 8 life, definitely not a bad position versus burn. Alright, opponent cast nothing that turn. Expedition map in hand now. Let's see. I could go ahead and crack my sphere. Go look for Cascading Cataracts. Okay, I got an interplanar beacon here. Trying to get opponents okay to post this game online. But yeah, for sure I have this game won. I'm not trying to post it just because I won though, it's mainly because at this point in time I've played 2 games and I've won both games with the stack. So obviously the changes that I made are definitely helping out. Alright, so putting Nahiri into play means I get to go look for Emrakul and swing at my opponent, and then that should just be game. So I still have enough mana to cast Karn, and I don't have to worry about it getting bolted and dying because it'll have 10 loyalty counters on it. And I still get to gain life here. Alright, let's just go ahead and attack. GG's. Okay, so that's 2 games, 2 wins. Since I've made changes, so like now the deck is in a pretty good position. Might sign up for the modern prelim later on. Okay, let's see though. I added more Karn Liberateds just for the turn 3 Karn payoff, so now I'm running a total of 8 Karns. 2 Ugins, 2 Goloses. I added in a Nicol Bolas just for fun. But also this Nicol Bolas can destroy lands, so I guess you can almost say it's another Karn-ish. So yeah, since it can destroy lands, that means also uptick for destroying lands. +3 for destroying lands, which is pretty amazing in my book. So that means that now Dragon God can do it as well. Planeswalker wise, as far as the fun ones go, I just have Jace Architect of Thought, Sam with the Tested, Nahiri, and Jace Cunning Castaway, just because he can make tokens of himself. And hey, that's pretty amazing when you do it with Dragon God, so definitely want to keep that in the deck still. But I took Ralzarak out along with, let's see, who else was in here? The Sandras, because they were kind of underperforming in my opinion. Yeah, but these are the changes that I decided to make. Also, I took Ancient Stirrings out. The reason why I took Ancient Stirrings out is because it didn't quite feel right. I guess though, the option is totally on the table to take Bolas Planeswalker out and put Ancient Stirrings back in, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and do. That's a tough choice. Bolas here costs 8 mana to play, which means that even if I have Cascading Cataracts in play on turn 4, and Tron Online I can't play. But upticking to destroy lands and non-creature permanents is pretty good. Alright, this requires more playtesting. I want to figure out if the Bolas Planeswalker here is going to be worth it. So I have to see if I get some use out of it. Let's see. Someone posted in a Discord somewhere. Somebody just said good night at 4 o'clock in the morning? Oh, no, that's not the message. Yeah, Little Ugin is gone. Hey, Little Ugin was... Okay, I want you to think about something. I have someone who helped me put this deck, not really put the deck together. They definitely provided a lot of feedback whenever I was doing the playtesting, and also made a version of this deck that was their own. And he had Ugin the Ineffable in the deck. Now, from what I've seen, Ugin the Ineffable is great, but it doesn't go over the top. Like, just being able to create blockers and defend for myself doesn't seem to work well with the rest of the deck. Like, if you look at it, all these Planeswalkers here can win the game by themselves, along with all the Planeswalkers here. So, literally, everything can win the game by having the interaction with Doubling Season. The only things that can't are the Goloses, but they're a huge payoff. The Nicol Bolas Planeswalker here costs 2 more mana and a bunch of colored mana, but it lets me destroy a target permanent. I can also gain control of a creature, or I can do the ultimate ability. and the ultimate ability is not hard to get through because it's not hard to get to because it upticks for 3, which means that once this bolus hits the battlefield, it'll definitely be destroying a lot of things before it's gone. So, but do you see what I mean about Ugin being a little underpowered in my deck? I think if I ran more artifacts, Ugin would definitely have a more huge of a presence. Because I did have Terrarians in the deck at one point in time, and since Terrarians, they cost 1 come into play tapped, but then you could pay 2 mana to tap it to get 2 mana of any color. So if I was going more heavily on those, I could see Ugin being more playable. But at the same time, with Karn Great Creator being, I would say at this point in time, a staple in Modern, at least on Magic Online anyways, that means that artifacts are going to be turned off, so I need to find another route to win. Yes, I completely understand what you were saying. Like, I still have just a Tron Walkers, just, you know, a fun brew, in which I didn't really take anything out. I also added in the Master, Shark on the Master list, like you had suggested before. And I did get it to where, let's see, I made the Bolas, Ugin. Pretty much, I made it to where all my creatures became dragons. Just because of the fact, you know, that, let's see if I can find it. Nicol, Bolas, and Ugin are dragons. So, because they're Elder Dragons, I got to make them 4/4 dragons and attack my opponent to win the game, which is pretty cool. I just did it for the fun of it, though. It's also something that I hadn't done with this deck until that point, so yeah, I definitely made the Boluses into dragons just to attack and win the game. At least once. Granted, though, it wasn't in a, like, competitive game. It was more of, like, a fun game because I think Sharkan, you know, serious game is just underpowered. But I'm trying to keep a fun version of this deck because, like, you know, if you're just playing to be serious all the time, it's not quite as fun. I've also gone ahead and bought a whole bunch of Planeswalkers on Magic Online just to, you know, do crazy things. Like Narset here is one that I've yet to use its ability, its ultimate ability. Just because the competition on Magic Online is kind of up there. I've also yet to use Ajani Mentor of Heroes. And I think that's mostly because Ajani just cares about gaining life, and gaining life doesn't win games in Modern. The God Pharaoh, I think I also haven't used its ultimate ability. So there are a lot of Planeswalkers here who have not used their ultimate ability yet. I also added this flagship to my sideboard in my competitive version of this deck. The reason why is I can put this into play, use Kind Great Creator to make it into a 5/5 creature, swing at my opponent, and deal 3 damage to something, which is a huge win in my book. So it's almost like I have a bolt that I can animate with Kind Great Creator every turn. But yeah, like you see, I've made a lot of changes to my deck recently. So go ahead and go to the next game, though. I was gonna just go ahead and, you know, record YouTube videos or something, but since you're here, I just want to play a game and see how my interaction goes. Also, partly because I want to hear your feedback, especially since you were someone that was there when this deck was being made. So you definitely have a lot more insight about it than most people do. I'm definitely not keeping this hand. And I am definitely keeping this hand. Get rid of Emrakul. By the way, have you made any new brews recently? Or have you decided to take a break from Modern again? I know I haven't been, brewing decks as much as I typically do just because I'm playtesting this one pretty often. And I was trying to build my Twitch following for the most part. Prismatic Omen, so my opponent is... Well, I guess if we get our plan off the top, we'll be in a pretty good position. Mono White Devotion, that's Saffron Olive played recently. I have to look at that. Okay, I guess I'm not finding lands here. So Field of the Dead, Uro. I guess my opponent chose to put in Prismatic Omen versus Dryad of Elysian Grove. What's my opponent playing? Stoneforged Mystic and the Sword of Feast and Famine. Okay. Alright, so obviously here the play is Karn, Great Creator. I guess that also stops the Sword of Feast and Famine. Alright, let's see what my sideboard has. Do I have anything that makes a huge difference here? I guess the main thing I have to go for here is Liquid Metal Coating. Just to start destroying land so I can get rid of this Valakut. Also, that means Sword of Feast and Famine will not be able to be equipped. At least not right now, so that leaves me in a pretty good position. Then if I get a power plant next turn, I'll be able to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Okay, and roll again. I kind of like this take on seeing Uro and something else though. My opponent decided to scoop. I guess they were seeing what card was on top, and if it wasn't a land, they were gonna scoop or something. So yeah, for sure I would have been able to get Tron online. I guess that was an okay game. Alright, let's see here. Do I keep this or do I mulligan? Well, I don't know exactly what my opponent's playing. I guess I'll keep it. If I draw a piece of Tron, I'll be in an extremely great position. If not, I'll be in an okay position. Birds of Paradise turn 1 again. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Expedition map. I think here the play might actually be Bolas. So I can start destroying lands. Which will be pretty hilarious. And Field of the Dead will be the first land destroyed. Prismatic Omen again. I guess Forest is what it is. Since my opponent's not playing blue, I'm gonna say cracking the expedition map is definitely a whole lot more necessary than casting Sylvan Scrying at this point. My opponent played a Teferi, so definitely if I did not pop that expedition map, it would be bounced back to my hand at this point. Guess if you got maps, you crack maps, right? Since now it's out, my opponent's playing blue. Yeah, cracking expedition map is now the better option. Even though I could have waited until their turn, but I'm not too worried about them targeting lands since I can go ahead and get fetch another land. So I'll get turn 4 Kind Great Creator here. They have a bunch of Teferis. Or I should say a lot of Teferi effect going off. I thought they fetched or something there. So my opponent's playing Omath. Locus of Creation. Since my opponent's playing Omath, let's see, gain 4 life. Does third time 4 damage to each planeswalker an opponent controls. So definitely right there, I'm not trying to get Omath to deal damage to my planeswalkers, so let's go ahead and take control of Omath. Okay, I can't do that this turn, I have to do it next turn. Let's get Oath of Nissa out here, just to see if we get Karn liberated. Get a Golos off the top, and I will take the Golos. Yes, Karn Great Creator it is. Obviously, I cannot stop my opponent from attacking here. Spirit Dragon with your 8 mana. Oh man, I completely ignored Spirit Dragon. Yeah, that would have been the right call for sure. Yes, I just play Modern. Yes, this is Modern. I think it's in my title. Oh yeah, I gotta go put Modern in my title, huh? But yeah, I completely ignored Ugin the Spirit Dragon there. But now that I've ignored Ugin the Spirit Dragon, let's go ahead and find something else. I'm thinking disabling their Teferi is a pretty good option here, so Sorcery Spyglass also gives me a pretty good insight on what my opponent has in their hand. So Stoneforge and another Teferi. Oh, not Stoneforge. So Teferi Time Raveler is now offline. But for sure, the definitely right play there should have been to cast Ugin. I guess we are also not in a bad position. Let me update my title real quick. Okay. Karn is gonna kill here. Okay with that. Hour of Promise. Valakut triggers going off. I'm okay with it. As long as I don't die, I should be able to come back and pretty much win the game. Okay, Uro. So now I'm getting. Okay, now I get to have a turn. Alright, so obviously I messed up last time not playing Ugin Spirit Dragon, and now that we realize that, definitely are going to play Ugin Spirit Dragon, exile everything, and afterwards go ahead and play Oath of Nissa. That way next turn we could play Nicobol's Planeswalker and start destroying all the important lands. Let's see, Ugin on 3. That would have been bad if I just went ahead and did it. Ugin on 4. Alright, so this puts my opponent back a couple turns. Yes, I typically just play this Tron deck because I guess you could say this Tron deck is pretty much my passion as far as Magic the Gathering goes. I just really wanted to create, a Planeswalker deck, and after a long time of, just brewing this deck, I feel very strongly attached to it. Like, I know I could probably play a regular Tron, and I should get it pretty easily. But because of that, I decided to just play my Tron deck and put Planeswalkers in it, and see what I think about it. Yes, that is the exact idea behind the name Tron Walkers. Just me and a bunch of Planeswalkers playing games, having fun. Yesterday I was watching. Okay, my opponent has Field of the Dead going off, but I'm okay with that. Okay, go fetch. So, my Planeswalker. Nope, not yet. Restoration Angel. So, what's getting... Is it Omath? Yeah. But it doesn't do anything, thankfully. Alright, so let's see here. This is not a league, this is just open play. But like on Magic Online, you can run into some pretty decent opponents if you just join lobbies. So this is just open play, and this is game number 2. And I think I won game 1. I don't even remember. The games start running together. Alright, so here, obviously I'm going to play a tower. I have enough to take over his Omath. I might end up participating in a league later on today. I think the league starts in like 3 hours or something. So I might go ahead and sign up for it depending on how I feel with the deck. So far I'm pretty impressed with it. But having so many options in my hand, it's kind of overwhelming, but I think for sure playing Nicobol's Planeswalker here is an obvious win. Then go ahead and take control of Omath. Let's see, after taking control of Omath, what is best to do next? Mana usage wise, I think the answer is Golos. Because I could get Golos and then go get a Cascading Cataracts from my library. So that means next turn I can activate Golos to go ahead and play my top 3 cards for free. Since I just played a land, I gained some life. Let's go ahead and use Ugin for 0. which should exile all the tokens. So now my opponent has to deal 18 points of damage in order to win the game. So that's looking pretty good. Okay, I think my stream title should be updated now. Never mind, I guess it's not. Okay, now it's updated. Alright, opponent C played another Omath. Restoration Angel, attack him. Oh, that's kind of funny. I guess he doesn't want me taking control of the second Omath. Which, hey, I wouldn't want to do either. Wait, if I was him, I wouldn't want to do either. Alright, so here now we are looking pretty good. Let's see. I can obviously go crack expedition map here and go up 1 mana by going to get tower, but to be on the safe side, I'm just gonna go ahead and get a power plant. Because at least now I have double of all my Tron lands. And Omath goes off. Alright, let's see. I would say best choice here is to it's gonna take 7 mana. I'm gonna have 3, 5, 6 mana left over. Nope. Yeah, exiling their Omath sets them back a lot, so I'm definitely gonna exile Omath just to see what happens. So with Omath gone, now you can go ahead and deal 3 damage to, I guess, Birds of Paradise. By the way, with this deck, I really don't need to do attack damage in order to win, so it sets me in a pretty great position. Let's see, that's 3, 5, 6 mana that I have on the field. If I had 1 more, I would be able to use Golos. I think the best choice here is to just go ahead and play Jace. The reason why is it's another thing for my opponent to get through, and I highly doubt they'll be able to. At this point, they know all the cards that are in my hand, but I doubt they'll be able to do anything against it, just because I have so many Planeswalkers out. Right, yes, I know I'm going to lose mana. Alright, let's go ahead and attack with Golos and Omath. Alright, let's see what they got. I think probably Scape Shift is the only thing that would make us lose the game. But I used Nicobola's Planeswalker, the -2 ability on Nicobola's Planeswalker to take control of Omath. So yes, that's what I did to get control of Omath. So now you know I'm rocking Omath right now, which is hilarious. Like, one thing that's always extremely funny to do with this deck is take control of my opponent's deck and use it against them. Like, if I end up comboing off, I could cast my opponent's entire deck for free and use it against them, so it's pretty hilarious. Blue, black, and red. I used Oath of Nissa to make blue, black, and red. Well, what Oath of Nissa says is that I can use any color mana to cast Planeswalkers. Nah, you're not a noob, man. It's just, you're asking all the right questions. in my opinion. Okay, 2 damage to Ugin. Ugin is okay. But yeah, you're asking all the right questions. Finding out the answers to the questions you're asking is what got me to this point with this deck, so... Asking my opponent if they mind if I share the game on YouTube. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at top 3 cards. Samut and Dragon God. I haven't seen one doubling season so far this game, so I think it's about time to draw into a doubling season. But for sure, my opponent's probably like looking at my deck now like, what the heck, this thing works. There's still my opponent there. I think I have all the cards in this deck except for like 2 of them. And the reason why I don't have them yet is because I'm waiting for the guy who sells me magic cards to actually get a hold of them. You know, just to support my local game store. Alright, so since I have not seen a... Nope, let's cancel that. I was about to use Golos' ability there. Because I have not seen a doubling season all game, which means that it's about time I draw a doubling season. Like, the goal is to play doubling season. Alright, let's go ahead and add 5 mana of any color. The goal is to play doubling season and then any planeswalker. And the planeswalker comes in with twice the amount of loyalty counters. So the planeswalker gets the ultimate on the first turn. Ah, see? Nice, I got a doubling season. My opponent does not have a legendary creature in play. I wonder how much over the top I should go. This opponent seems pretty cool, but I don't think they're in for sitting around watching me do crazy things with my deck. But now that I've casted Nicol Bolas, Dragon God here, and I cast Emrakul, I get an extra turn, so I could swing in for ridiculous amounts of damage. I could also go ahead and just end the game. But I'm gonna just use this. Since my opponent was pretty cool, I'm just gonna go ahead and combo off a little bit more. I always wanted to play an Uro in my deck. So, Uro Tron for the win. Also, this makes it to where Omath goes off again. That's pretty hilarious. Always yield. Always yield. Oh, I get to put a land card into the play. Okay, Omath doing more work here. I like it. Alright, let's go ahead and get some more planeswalkers out here. Alright, let's see. Let's get Cunning Castaway. Ogun the Spirit Dragon. I don't really have a lot of Planeswalkers at this point that will do a lot of crazy stuff because I've already put most of them on the battlefield. And with me taking an extra turn already, there's not much that my opponent can do here. But either ways, it's a win. Okay, my opponent's asking why it's game. I guess I should go ahead and finish playing out the game, huh? I could have gone and kept playing there, but then there's really no point, in my opinion. Because at the very least, I would be able to attack with Emrakul and... Let's see, with Emrakul, Golos, and Omath next turn. By the way, thank you for the follow, Papa. What is that? Yeah, Papa Jr. BX2. Not Papa Jr. BX2. It's a very unique name right there. Okay, let's see. I have no great... definitely not keeping this hand, but it's a very colorful hand. It looks amazing if you can cast stuff. Okay, I think I need to stop mulliganing at this point. Mulligan to 3 cards, or do I keep? I guess I'll go ahead and keep, even though it's risky. Don't need Doubling Season, don't need Jace. I'm hoping that I'll be able to live without the Forest. If not, then that's GG. The main reason why I'm saying that is if I have to play more than one non-Tron land, I pretty much lose the game. At least that's how it is in Modern, so... Yeah, let's see if my opponent has turn 3 Kaim here. If that is the case, then that is GG. Oh, come on, land off the top. Yes, it is a land off the top, but not quite the land I wanted. I guess I should wait to crack this, huh? If I get a land next turn, and my opponent doesn't play Karn Great Creator, I will be okay-ish. My opponent played nothing. Well, let's keep the trend going by playing nothing as well. I'm thinking my opponent needs to get the Tron, which means they have a bunch of expensive spells in hand. Now with the Sylvan Scrying going out, they are definitely going to be able to hit the turn for Tron. So they're going to have Ugin mana on board. Why get as lucky as they did? I guess an expedition map, I'll take it. Alright, let's go ahead and draw another expedition map. I will also take it. Okay, let's see here. Let's go get a power plant. Play that. Expedition. Last turn. Let's see. What does my opponent have? It seems like they're on the Green Tron engine as well, so... Oh my goodness. Yep, Karn liberated. GG's. That's it. There's no coming back from that. Actually, I am gonna play it out and just see what happens. Because if they have no follow-up for Karn, then I'm not totally out of the game. Let me go get a tower instead. So if they have no follow-up for Karn, I'm still in it. If they do, I am out. If they do plus on me to exile a card from hand versus trying to exile a land again, I'll be in an okay position. If they play a Wormcoil Engine, I'll be okay. Any creature, I should be alright. I think this position here is when I'm usually thinking, I hope I'm going against Eldrazi Tron. Nope, they choose to take a land again. That's harsh. If they follow up with another card, a Hex Drinker? I have... Okay, that's king. There's just no way for me to follow up here. That's pretty awesome though. I haven't seen Hex Drinker in Tron before. That was a new twist. It does make sense though. You'd be able to get it up as far as you want right off the bat. Let's see, when does this modern prelim start? 25 minutes. Yes, I would like to play first. So it's a turn 3 card off. Okay, my opponent's playing Green Tron. First game, I guess they chose not to have a companion to not give it away. Yeah, I can't keep this hand. If I had another land, it would be great, but... Okay, let's see. I can keep this hand. Let's get rid of Cascading Cataracts. Hopefully I end up drawing into a Scrying or something to get me my last piece of Tron, and then following up with 2 card Liberated should end the game. My opponent's mulliganing to 3 cards right now. So they're not in the best position. I can't say I agree too much with them just going ahead and scooping though, because I have gone to like 2 cards before and been able to get Tron online on turn 3 and then follow up with something. The odds are very unlikely, but it is something that's possible. I'm sure most Tron players out there will attest to that fact. I'm thinking the Golos in main board definitely helps, especially because it keeps helping with land drops, so casting Emrakul becomes a whole lot more realistic every game. But then also the filtering ability of it also puts it over the top. And I think I just won't get enough time to test if I should add more into it or not though. So my opponent is on the same thing I am here at this point. Land Expedition map, awesome. They play a non-Tron land, which is amazing for me because a non-Tron land means that they've missed Tron by 1 turn. And missing Tron by 1 turn is absolutely huge. But I'm not going to risk it too much because they could be playing a copy of Ghost Squatter in their deck. And since that is a very real thing, I'm going to go ahead and on my expedition map at the end of their turn. Okay, 7 Scrying is what they play. Let's go ahead and fetch now to not waste time. Okay, let's get a tower since that's what I'm missing. Obviously here I'm gonna play Karn, Exile. Oh, I just realized I actually don't have Karn liberated in my hand. I gotta mulligan away that hand. But we have Karn Great Creator here, which shuts off his Chromatic Sphere there. Let's go ahead and get Liquid Metal Coating. And cast it real quick. And also follow up with a star. During my opponent's upkeep, I want to stop. Okay, let's go ahead and make their tower into an artifact, so now it's unusable. And yeah, opponent, go ahead and play out the rest of your turn. So they have 5 mana total on the battlefield right now. The best play for them is to play a Karn liberated of Karn Great Creator of their own. That would shut my Karn off. My opponent played an Explorer there in order to play another tower. I kind of like their deck idea. Like, I've done the whole Explorer thing in Tron, but it didn't work very effectively for what I'm trying to do with Planeswalkers, but it is a very real thing. Okay, let's go ahead and the last land that my opponent played, I believe it was a mine. Expedition map. Yep, reveals a mine. The mine is the last one they played, so let's destroy some mines, shall we? So mine is out of play. Tron is back offline for my opponent. Let's go ahead and crack this for a green. And I'm gonna put Doubling Season into play. Then next turn, I guess I could. I don't really need the tower in play at this point. I am going to, I guess, tough choices. Just, 4. So I'll put the tower in play. Puts me at 5 mana. Either way, next turn I should be able to cast Oath and Architect of Thought. This opponent had another mine, but that's game 3. They have 4 mana, so they're probably looking for something. Explore Man. This version of Tron that they're playing is definitely going off a lot as far as getting lands on the battlefield. But the easy play here is to go ahead and play an Oath. Okay. I guess I could choose Ugin from choices of Oath here. Alright, let's go ahead and cast Ugin. And probably should be surprising to them a little bit. Let's go ahead and alt Ugin. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now a whole bunch of planeswalkers with ridiculous amounts of loyalties come out. Let's go ahead and fetch some more planeswalkers here with Tested. And now I need small Jace, and I guess I'll take Nicol Bolas Planeswalker since I haven't used it yet. Let's go ahead and activate this Nicol Bolas Planeswalker just to get the first activation out there. Officially, first time I used Nicol Bolas here. Well, that's pretty cool. Opponent has to discard 7 cards, take 7 damage, and sacrifice 7 permanents. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 1 thing left in play. They're probably going to keep their card liberated, as funny as that sounds. Or maybe a land. Yes, the opponent's reading cards now, trying to figure out what all is going on. So Wormcoil is what they had in hand. Okay, so they choose to keep a tower. Let's make some copies of Dragon God here just because we can. Oh, don't crash the game, don't crash the game. Oh no, I forgot about that. I have a lot of doubling seasons out, so it makes double Nicol Bolases twice. Alright, let's just win this again. Let's see, did somebody go live? Nope. Okay. Deal my hand. I think the opponent might still be looking at the battlefield, so... But this is what playing Tron Walkers is all about. Bunch of planeswalkers out there doing crazy things. It's crazy though how much I have to scroll. Like, I'm wondering if there's a way that I can have it to where it stacks the permanents and doesn't put them all on the bottom because it gets a little ridiculous. By the way, for all the people just tuning in, Archangel of Thone here is the card that got me started on playing Magic the Gathering. And it is still one of my favorite cards in Magic. Alright, let's see. I think this thing started in... I thought this thing had said it starts in 25 minutes, but I guess it starts in 2 more hours. 12 people registered for it. Guess I'll mess around with some YouTube stuff. Like you all see here, I play a lot of games. Let's see, format, modern, name. Oh my goodness. Let's see, I'm trying to look at display and sound settings. I'll turn the display card preview window back on. Wait, card preview window is where I'm at. I guess I could put it right here. Okay, what else is there that I can do? Good settings. Definitely need to create something that way I'm not constantly skipping through my turn and accidentally doing it when I don't mean to. So skip through this turn, unbind, bind it through. I'm trying to make it keys to where I'm not gonna accidentally, push them and end up. I always say yes to this. Okay, I didn't even know this was a thing. That's awesome. Always say yes to this, definitely. Always yield to this. Wish I could make those both the same cards. Both the same numbers. Or keys. Yield through this turn. Yield through this turn, yield through this turn. I don't know why I would have two. Pass until you can respond. There's nothing that passes until end of turn. Yield through until next end step is 6. Alright, that's a very real thing that I'll use a lot. Okay, let's see here. I guess settings wise, there's no way to get it to where the cards stack nicely or whatever. Do settings. Red zone. What is this red zone thing? I don't know. Alright, let's see. On one-on-one games. Obviously, these are all the typical things. I wonder what it looks like it stacks. I've seen people play games, and it seems like everything is stacked up very nicely. In mine, I have to constantly keep scrolling through the window, and it's a little ridiculous. An example of this would be Devin O'Donnell here. Let's see. They went through playing the fun version of my deck not too long ago, and I guess it always stacks the opponent's permanents and stuff nicely. Creatures up front, lands in the back. I think for my deck though, now that I think about it, the reason why all my things are on the bottom is because it's all enchantments and planeswalkers and lands. So it just constantly keeps building up on the bottom. But for my opponent, it might actually put them in front, maybe? I don't know. But it's nice to realize that. I was thinking here that I was using Magic Online incorrectly or something. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see who tuned in. Wonder. Order history, promo code. I guess I can turn on all the settings. because my computer is good enough to handle it. I'll give my viewers a accurate view of what all the cards are and how it looks on Magic Online. Back to my collection here. Look at Tron Walkers competitive just a little bit more. So let's see. Bolas Planeswalker definitely makes an impact upon play. Could switch it out for an Ancient Strings, which guarantees me a colorless Planeswalker or Golos. I think maybe the Bolas Planeswalker is just reaching a little bit too far. But it also does a lot. And it wins the game with the doubling season. Pretty much. Alright, let's see here. How long have I been live? For almost 2 hours. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here for right now. Mainly because I'm gonna go eat breakfast, clean up a little bit. Or I should say, clean up a little bit, make breakfast, get something to eat. Then I'll get back on my computer and watch some anime. Because I think there's been a decent amount of stuff released that I have not been keeping up with. Five days ago. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here and go live life a little bit, and then I'll probably be back on for the modern prelims if I'm not caught up watching anime or something. So in 2 hours and 48 minutes I should be back. Either ways though, I'm pretty happy with how the deck is performing now, so I can't see myself making too many changes. The only one that stands out is getting rid of the Bolas here, but it's just so good. Let's see, let's export this to my desktop. That way I can update my stream decker. Alright peeps, I'll catch you all later. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate the support, as usual. Also, if you all are looking for some super cool people to watch online, I highly recommend. Let's see, where is that screen at? I can just open another one. Watching Devin O'Donnell. Let's see. Doomwake on Twitch. I guess I have to click on his thing to go to his Twitch. I recommend.
Just gonna die in combat.
Doomwake here, along with From the Crypt. Extremely cool Magic the Gathering player.
I feel
like a lot of them are the ones that I kind of met when I first got into Magic, and their communities have been pretty welcoming, so I highly recommend them in all my videos, you know, just to get their name out there, even though they don't need it since they're already 5-0 in tournaments and stuff of that nature. So already extremely great players, friendly community. If you all have any questions about cards, I highly recommend asking them since they're very, very knowledgeable on Magic. And yep, there are a lot of other people in the community like Ashiok. The funny thing about it is Ashiok comes off as being kind of a dick, but
Peacock has the office.
definitely a very cool player. Dreams of... Okay, that's definitely not Ashiok. I guess he just chose that picture.
Hesitant.
But yeah, if you all are looking for some cool people to watch, I recommend From the Crypt, Doomwake, and Ashiok. And let's see, where's my man Shadows? I think it's... That's kind of surprising. I usually go to
80% run relies
Shadows
heavily on...
pretty often. I'm kind of surprised that it didn't show up there. Yeah, my man Shadows 2005. That's kind of weird that... Yeah, Shadows here is really cool. But yeah, so I will catch you all later. Thank y'all for tuning into the stream. I'll probably just go ahead and upload the stream on YouTube since it's kind of filled with a lot of, you know, great games, pretty nice opponents. I know some of the talking in here is probably not going to be understood 100% by the people watching from YouTube, just because I was having some interaction with my chat along with in my Discord, so you all might miss out a little bit on what was going on, but should still show through pretty good and, you know, show how much I'm enjoying playing the deck. So I will catch y'all peeps later. And then here's my man Nico Bogus, you know, the star of the show right there.